Here we have a wee brown trout. It's not a big one, but not a bad sized one. So we're going to use a 17cm blade just because of the size of it. So we want to make sure that we're going to trim up the bottom fin. So we'll just take this bottom fin off first. Take the second one off. Because these are very similar to salmon, salmon's normally we can get away with one cut, mainly because of the frame, a single bone that goes through the centre of the fish. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up under the gill on the angle and just lift that flap so it frees that. Cut in it under there, roll the knife over and just run the knife through like that. So what we've done, this here is just for bruising from when it's been caught. So this particular fish has been frozen and then re-thawed out, but the bruising would have been that happened when it's been caught, and obviously someone's grabbed it like that, just been a bit rough up there. So this here, as you can see, we've got the same orangey tinge to what salmon have. So very, very similar bone structure as what the salmon is. So once again we just come in, roll our knife. Bear in mind there's nothing here to be cutting, so this is why we're only cutting this thin strip through. So we want to come in, roll our knife over, and trying to use the back part of our knife just so it gives us a bit more control, and making sure that we're sort of sitting at the edge of the board that gives us that ability. So when we come in, push along here. Once we get to here, just need to straighten the knife out a bit and come back to this back part, because then we'll go the other way. So to come in, roll, push through, get to there, and then off. Right, turn it over. This gives us the option to put just a nick above the fin. You don't have to do that. It's just so when we come through here and get to there that we can cut that piece. So once again, come in under here on the angle, give it a flick, lift that up, roll the knife over, and come all the way through. So what we've done is come into the head, rolled over, just what we're cutting this top part now. So coming right down like that, it's going to sit your knife on top of the bone, and you're going to end up with that in there. By turning it and cutting on an angle, you can get down into this hollow here. Alright, and then once we get to here, we'll just keep our knife there. We've already made the nick in there, so really there's nothing else to cut. So it's all the way through here. Alright, so you may leave a bit of meat here simply because when you're cutting, your knife's still got a ridge and it's still got a hollow under there. Alright, so you may not always get that. Right, what we want to do is we want to just take the bones out here. Alright, we just get under this top bone and just work our way. Alright, just work our way like that. Now the bones come through to here, and then as you can see, they just pull off there. So once you've got under these bones like this, the rest of it's just the belly lining. So it's really a presentation to whether you want this belly lining on or off. As you can see, there's a little bit of freezer burn or a little bit of enzyme activity, one or the other. So you can just trim that off. And once again, it's just purely presentation thing. So we'll take those off. Over there. Guts. This time I'm going to get under here with the knife, go right through the front, and okay. And once again, it's just this presentation thing here. So getting under here, coming off. It's only edges and a bit of other bits and pieces, but we have it. I'll just take this bruising off because it's people doesn't always like that bruising. So these are going to have a pin bone in them. So identify where the pin bone is. Just get your knife, run it backwards like that. Alright. And same with this fish. You can actually feel them here, but if you get your knife and just run them back, this fish being frozen is obviously a bit soft. So just you've got to be a little careful. Then it's just getting your pliers and pulling those out. Alright, So we'll go through that another time. Right, so that's filleting a little brown trout, and as you can see, very similar to salmon.